The anniversary year included many social events, but the motoring highlight was the rally held in July, known as the Manor Run. In here.
You should all have your rally plates and route. If you don't, please come and see me. But by mid-morning, and certainly by the time we get to Trinity Manor, everything will be dry, and by the beginning of the afternoon the sun should start to shine. So I think it's better this way round, that we should have a dry lunch. And I just hope you have a super time.
Simon Slapper has spent months of planning so that the cars could park in the shape of a 50 to commemorate this significant milestone in the history of the club. The 5 was comprised solely of visiting Rolls-Royce cars, while local vehicles made up the rest. At 10 o'clock they were off, by special arrangement, driving against the normal traffic through St Helier. Here the cavalcade passes St Helier Town Hall. As well as the local club members, the rally includes 24 cars from the UK 20 horsepower Rolls-Royce Enthusiasts Club. They have chosen to visit Jersey at the end of their European summer tour. Their cars are being much admired, and the drivers and passengers made very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It required very special permission to be allowed to drive through King Street, which is a pedestrian precinct and a busy shopping area. This rally is to be a very fitting celebration of the golden anniversary of the Jersey Automotive Club. As well as this unusual drive through town, the further route is designed to take members through some beautiful scenic lanes in the Jersey countryside, as well as through the grounds of 15 lovely old manor houses, whose owners had kindly given permission for the long cavalcade to drive past their homes. A plethora of honorary police, cadets and other voluntary organisations were on hand to keep the route safe here in town as well as on the country roads. Now we are on the standard roads, along with the regular traffic, making sure to obey the road signals. Here is the first of our manors, although this one is Government House. Taking the drive past is His Excellency General Sir John McColl, the Queen's representative in Jersey. The cavalcade now leaves the grounds of Government House, passing the churchyard, where the famous Lily Langtry is buried, and turning on to St Saviour's Hill. The route brought back happy memories, as it is very similar to that taken in 1996, when the club celebrated its 30th anniversary. This year it has been arranged by club members Wally Labby and Roger Billow, who have spent many months in its preparation. However, all of the committee and senior club members have worked hard, each taking responsibility for various aspects of the celebrations. Next we pass through the beautiful grounds of Radier Manor, owned by Lord Jersey. Following this, we come to Les Prés Manor, where Mr. and Mrs. Lemaitre have come out to wave us through.
Thank you, you two.
Hello, Sir Peter and Lady Lemaitre.
Next port of call was Villers-Philippe, a working farm since 1778. And this little lane has had to be trimmed back especially for us, as it seldom sees motor traffic. We were so very pleased when Mr. Helier Smith, Chief Executive of Jersey Water, was prevailed upon to agree that the cavalcade would be allowed to pass round Queen's Valley Reservoir, as the committee were most anxious to reenact the 1996 celebratory route. These roads are normally pedestrian pathways, so driving around the reservoir involves some pretty challenging conditions. But these motor cars were built in the era when many roads were like this. Crossing a reservoir bridge by car is a very special event, not normally permitted. Happily, the ducks seemed to take it all in their stride, and the honorary police and the water company staff were kindly keeping watch at every junction to guard against mishaps.
Morning. Lovely morning.
After this section, the steep road out of the reservoir area proved too challenging for one car, and as the lane was too narrow for it to be pushed, it had to be hauled out using several men and ropes. But eventually, safer ground was reached at the peaceful haven of La Hauteur. But soon thereafter, we reached a lively and excited crowd waiting for us opposite St. Martin's Church. Our next drive-through is Les Avenues, kindly arranged by the Picot family. Here we are welcomed by the congregation of the Ebenezer Methodist Chapel, who have chosen to transfer their normal Sunday service to Les Avenues in order to greet the cars as they pass.
Hello. Welcome to sunny Jersey. Pouring in Normandy as well today. I mean, the soul of some anniversary. Set it up 50 years ago.
By now the cavalcade had become somewhat disjointed, as the convoluted lanes on the planned route had caused some drivers to take inadvertent deviations. But route designer Wally Laddie, who is seen here, has now been able to gather everyone together.
This is the last lot, everybody! The last lot!
We departed, leaving the Ebenezer congregation hoping for a sunny afternoon, as they now plan to take the children on their annual wagon ride.
Hello! Hello there!
Hi, Zan. Hi.
Good to have the deputy. Hello, Rosemont.
Hi, Rose.
The cars were now entering the grounds of Trinity Manor, where they stopped and gathered together for a lunch break. The manor looked as beautiful and imposing as ever, and is thought by some to be the finest house in Jersey. And the local residents looked pretty good as well, and were not perturbed by the intrusion of visitors. Fortunately, the rain didn't seem to bother any of our intrepid travellers. The manor owners, Pam and Paul Bell, had provided Lulu's ice cream to complement the food, and very generously ensured that all the receipts from the ice cream sales were donated to the children's charity Bernardo's. Of course, the drivers then enjoyed doing what all vintage car owners do, given the chance. Talking about cars, looking at cars, and ensuring their car is as pristine as possible. The cars now left the manor, taking a winding drive past the ornamental lake. They then pass through the grounds of La Marinelle House, the oldest part of which dates from 1550. Now we are on the main road past St John's Church and Parish Hall, and the cavalcade has split up more and become interspersed with modern traffic. A crowd of admirers has gathered here to cheer on the cars. However, the enthusiasm which was expressed by waving arms was mistaken by some drivers as route directions, which resulted in much confusion. Here the magnificent Rolls-Royce Phantom 1 Salamanca shows that even in 1927 reverse gear was standard equipment. The confusion continued, but this 1923 Rolls-Royce Parker Tourer also eventually found its way out of St John. The route continued through La Maison de Saint-Jean, another 16th century property, and onward to Northdale, which dates from the 1800s. Next we come to St Juan's Manor, by kind permission of Mr Charles Mallet de Carteret. The de Carteret family are one of Jersey's oldest lines and are recorded as having fought in the Battle of Hastings. When the current owners bought the manor in 2004, it was the first time it had ever changed hands other than through inheritance. Our next manor is Les Nîmes, by kind permission of Mr and Mrs John Byfield. This is followed by the Manoir de Mallory. Then came La Moye Manor, where the avenue unexpectedly led out directly onto St Brelard's Bay.
Out of your way.
Are you part of the proceedings? Having parked opposite the picturesque St Brelard's Church, everyone moved on to the St Brelard's Bay Hotel. The Rolls-Royce owners were all staying at the St Brelard's Bay Hotel and said that Jersey had been the jewel in the crown of their 2016 annual tour. Fortunately, the sun was now shining, showing the bay at its best as all the rally members entered to enjoy a sumptuous and well-earned tea.
We have now come to the conclusion of our Golden Anniversary celebrations. We aimed to provide a very memorable year, and I think we've achieved that. The club has grown, we now have more members than ever before, and this DVD will provide valuable information in our archives and also for future generations.